Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gaurav Thapa. So last semester, me and my team worked on the project, which is Assistive Technology Integration for online learning, mostly for disabilities. So as part of supplementary, I am here to share my roles and contribution towards the project. Let's look into the role overview. So everyone in the group was assigned with a specific role and by a group leader, and based on the role provided, everyone did their research and the part. So my role in the group was quality assurance specialist. As part of my role, I was focused on four main areas. So these areas are functional standard, security measure, accessible compliance, and performance optimization. Let's look into the functional standard. So I need to make sure that all the assistive technology that we implement in our system work smoothly. When you think about the integrated system, we think about adding more features and features upon features to make it more functionable and more complex. But that's not in the case when there is a disability user. So we try to avoid such complexity. So we want to have a seamless user experience. So I need to make sure that everything that we put on system works smoothly. Secondly, the security measures. There were a lot of security measures that arise when we are doing the project, but I was mostly focused on the security and privacy concern for the users. What happens is most of the time what happens is the when the disability users are using the internet, the hackers get access to the webcam of the disability people, and they record the video of them using the system, and they put the video in the internet, and people mock them. So this kind of behavior will demotivate the disability users to interact with the system and to explore. So we don't want to have that. We always want to motivate the disability users to interact with the system and explore and learn more, because in this modern world we don't want them to left behind. So my research was based on how to improve and implement the robust security measures in our system. And thirdly, accessibility compliance testing for WCAG standards. So WCAG standards is a guidelines, is a web content accessibility guidelines, which was provided by a wide web consortium. So these guidelines has four main component, which is also known as PO. So what this guideline basically says is that everything that we put in our web should be easily accessible by the disabilities people. For example, let's think about there is a picture in a display. So we want to have the guideline says that we need to have a text alternatives for the picture. So for example, another example, if there is a multimedia video, then it should have a text caption for that video, and everything that we put in a display should be easily navigated with the help of keyboard. Similarly, there are a lot of rules and guidelines in a WCAG, so we need to make sure that follow each and every guidelines before we implement the project. Fourthly, performance optimization. So performance optimization, so this is about whenever we are implementing integrating new assistive technology in our system, we need to make sure that we run multiple tests before actually implementing. So every time we implement one component in our system, we run multiple tests. So we did that many more time until the system runs smoothly. So after the successful implementation, we don't want to have any lag and errors in the future. Let's look into the design approach overview. So our design approach was based on user-centric design. So the only way to create a truly inclusive platform is by including user in each and every step of in each and every step of the design. So here are the list of things that we did in our when we were designing the prototype. So for first and foremost, we did the user research. So we conducted a interview with a disability student, and we gathered their point of view, like how they interact with the system and what are the difficulties that they face. For example, one of the students, she said that how the accurate text caption for the video lecture is very much crucial for them to understand the key material of the study. And another student also mentioned that how she hated that the text size of the certain fonts make her very hard to access the interface. So with the help of their study, we gather some knowledge about how the system should be. The second one is interaction mapping. So this was my part. So interaction mapping, it lies on the mixed method research, which is a combination of qualitative and quantitative method. So A/B testing also lies on this method. So interaction mapping. So I went to the group of disability people, student, and I mapped out how they interact with the current system that they have, and I gathered the general knowledge of from starting of logging to ending of the session, how they interact with the system, how they change this setting and access the system. This provide a visual knowledge of how our prototype should be. For the next step, which is prototype development, based on what I mapped out, we created an interactive prototype. Then we gave our student to test it, and we gathered real feedback. Then if we had to make any changes, we change it. For example, if there is a certain color that the student doesn't like or doesn't feel like they are visual for them, then we'll make changes right away. So fourth one is iterative testing. So this prototype development and iterative testing is like it together. So instead of waiting at the end of the project, we did our testing in each and every changes. So every time we make changes in our system, we ask the users to test it and provide a feedback. So based on the feedback, we try to improve the system and make it more user friendly. So after that, we generated 3 use case scenario for our project, which will help to solve the problem that has arisen for the disabilities people. So the first one is a visual impairment scenario where students use our screen reader and navigates the course material. So this system also provides the audio description for image and graphs. Hearing impairment scenario, so closed caption and auto-generated transcript are generated for the video lecture, and also sign language interpretation is available on demand. Motor impairment scenario, so voice command and eye tracking technology are used to interact with the platform without using their own hands. So moving on to the activity diagram. So I was also part of constructing the activity diagram. So with the help of our previous prototype, we developed an activity diagram based on that. So the first step of the activity diagram here is user login, which is the user start by logging into our platform. Second step is selecting the assistive tool. So like what kind of assistive option the user prefer, so they can change the assistive tool here, like screen reader, font adjustment, or narration features. If yes, then they can configure their preference. If no, they can proceed without the initial customization. So third step is customization of assistive tool. So this is user have option to adjust the setting uh, even after the first step, so if they want to change anything while they are uh, surfing the platform, then they can make the customization as well. So the fourth step is accessing the course material. So obviously this is where the user mostly interact, so they can the system can read text aloud or engage the content using our assistive features. So fifth part is interaction with the content. So the student can view the lecture, document, and everything that they want to, and they can fully interact with the material. Completing the activities. So this means after they interact with the system, then they can also have option to submit the tasks, for example tasks, and before logging out. So seventh one is system feedback. So we tend to give user option to provide us a feedback so that we can change if there is any needed. Second last is security validation. So the platform validates security to protect the data of the users. So we need to make sure that everything the user's data is secure. And finally, log out or continue. So the user can log out and continue with their next session. Now let's move on to the initial implementation strategy. So our implementation strategy was built around the number of testings. So the first one is the functionality testing. So we use tools like Selenium and JAWS to make sure that all the features like screen reader and voice command work properly. Security testing tools like Burp-Site help us to identify vulnerabilities and keep the user's data safe. Performance testing, we ran stress tests with the tools like JMeter to ensure the system remains fast and even run in a heavy use. User feedback, we collected feedback through surveys to understand what users like and what we could improve. So most of my part was focused on these two: security testing and performance testing. So I'll be talking in the next slide about this. So next one is balancing security and performance optimization. So balancing these two components was our biggest challenge. So this is how we approach it. So firstly, we use lightweight encryption, which is AES 256 encryption, but optimize it to keep the data secure without slowing the system down. So it was very essential for protecting our sensitive information such as academic records. Second one is a caching strategy. So we implement caching for frequently accessed data. So for example, if there is a certain material that are accessible on a daily basis, then we put that in a cache. So this reduced the server load and made the platform faster. So this is very essential, mostly in the peak hour when like most of the system are being used at the same time. The server may lag, so it is very essential to make the server run smoothly in the peak hour, for example, like in exam period. Load balancing. So to handle the high traffic, we use dynamic load balancing, distributing requests across multiple servers. Code optimization. This is for the future use. So we will carefully review and refine our code so that it will reduce the CPU uses by 30%. So this will make our system more efficient, even though we put like multiple assistive features. This optimization will ensure our uh, platform work both secure and smooth. So the last part is accessibility compliance score. So this semester most of the tasks is only documentation and implementation stage. But as a quality assurance specialist, most of the tasks is focused on for next semester. So this semester all we did was read research on how to approach the project. So for the next semester, if I had to have the same project, so these are my goals. So the first one is WCAG 2.1A compliance. So I want to achieve full compliance with this standard, ensuring the board accessibilities to all the disabilities. And second one is multi-device compatibility. So it will be able to easily accessible in all kind of mediums, tablet, desktop, mobile phone. And the third one is user testing. So to conduct regular training testing season with a diverse group of users. And lastly, the continuous improvement. So implement an automated accessibility checking system for ongoing compliance monitor and updates. Thank you.